I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving Dow City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm climbing solo, I'm climbing solo, I'm climbing solo.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast. This is episode number Execute Order 66. We're here. We're fresh off LVO. I got Brian and Flock with me. How are you guys?
I'm here, so.
Okay.
Good talk. Good talk. Gonna be a
We're
lively,
all high energy today.
real low energy Brian.
Big true.
Brian's a mess.
Big
He
true.
left all his energy in Vegas.
Big true.
I didn't know he brought it out in Vegas.
Did not. Can't confirm. Lost it before Vegas.
All right, so we'll go through LVO, talking about the tournament a little bit. Then we'll dive into CM a little bit, and that'll kind of be the show. We're gonna kick off talking about the Gandork not being head judge. We'll touch on that for a few seconds. Figure start off negative, and then can slide through the positives as we go. And at some point, Marty and Hoover are gonna pop in, two of our new guys from Minnesota, but they're finishing up their weekly, so at some point they should be hopping into the recording channel. So at some point in the podcast, they'll be here. All right, but the first part we're going to talk about, I don't know if you guys noticed or read up on it, but the Gandork posted something earlier, but basically FFGOP decided that he could judge at the final Worlds, but not be the head judge, despite him being the head judge in 2019, 2018, head judge at LVO, head judge at Nova, head judge at 2 Gen Cons, I think. Definitely this past one, but not sure about before that in 2018. But yes, then he sent an email back. He's like, he'd rather not be debased publicly by FFG, and he feels like accepting a floor judge position and not being the head judge would be doing that, which I totally agree. So basically, he opted out to be a floor judge, and he's going to decide to play. Later, as we see, talking with Alex makes it seem like that was like a decision that Nic made where he wanted to play, but really he's doing that because it's such a slap in the face of what FFG's doing. But before we get into the other stuff, how do you guys feel about this? How do you feel about FFG not asking the Gandork rules Jesus to not be head judge at the final Worlds?
I'm just so surprised. I can't believe FFG would do something like this. This is totally out of the realm of possibility.
Good morning, Brian.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, you think that, like, one slap in the face is enough, and they're like, no, more. Have more.
Yeah, it's like, why kick us on the way out? Just let us leave. We're leaving. We'll be gone in May.
Like, the game's over. He's been a staple in the game since, like, day one. Just, like, give the man his due. Finish it strong, you know? And they're not letting him do that, and I think that's ridiculous.
The speculation is that during this past Worlds, somebody, I don't know, I guess one of the FFG people came up to Nic and was like, you need to go around and start writing up people who are using alt arts and giving them game points or losses or whatever it might be if they're not using the real stuff, which he said no to. Because, like, on one hand, why would you want your head judge going around to every single table? That's
a lot of work. It's like, he
doesn't have anything else to do, right?
Right. Well, I mean, like, and this another thing. That's not his job. He's there for a particular reason. That's not his job. If they wanted to do it so bad, they had other judges around. If they really wanted to pull them off of that, they could. They had a big team of judges.
Well, they could have done that themselves too.
Exactly. There was enough people from FFG there that could have done that, and I just think it's ridiculous that they're. If that is the real reason, I think that's a pretty lame one.
Yep. And if anybody's in the Facebook group, you saw me make a real salty comment with a screenshot of this. But yeah, I mean, especially coming off a weekend that was entirely put together by Nic and Yeti from Artificery. Like, they basically did Alex's job because Alex didn't feel like scheduling a grand, so they put it together. They did organized play for them, and it was a good weekend. Like, it was great, having people come out, getting CM early. Shout out to Matt Holland for doing that. But yeah, and then Alex comes in and just wipes the floor, so a little bit ridiculous, but then he even comes in after, and he says he was on vacation, whatever, but he says he trusts his team, the decisions they make, when planning and running events, and they do what they feel is best in planning. My understanding is that Nic was asked about judging, was welcome to join the judge team, but decided to play instead as he was not needed. I'm not sure why you feel I'm not sure why you feel I am solely responsible for the decisions, especially as I'm currently not at work. But if you need someone to vent to, I'm more than happy to listen. If Nic would rather talk to me than Matt, he's welcome to, and he can reach me through Matt if needed.
I can feel the tension in that message.
I don't understand. I'm not sure why you feel I'm solely responsible for this decision. I'm sorry. Are you not the head of OP? Like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, and he's just passing off the blame, I feel like, but whatever. He's got your number, Chief.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a dumb comment. I can't.
It's like that meme. You ever watch the Eric Andre show where he shoots himself and he's like, why would FFG do this?
Yeah. Why would you shoot him? Who killed him?
I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I respond again just saying, like, hey, like, I don't know why you think I'm upset, or, like, why you're shocked at me being upset. Like, Alex Watkins has never communicated in the Discord. He's never gone out of his way to post even on Facebook. He's not around. He's never been a part of the Destiny group. Going back, like, to early 2019 might be his last post when he was posting about a different, like, GQs being added. But overall, he's been pretty much absent in the entire Destiny run, even when he got hired as director of OP. Obviously, we wouldn't expect him while he was over in Europe and stuff. But yeah,
if anyone watched the AMA, that I don't think we talked about. I don't know if you guys talked about that last time, but if you watch the AMA, Destiny's in there for like 2 seconds, and they were all very safe questions.
Yeah, they ignored mine. Inception said they asked mine, but I was pretty sure that mine got ignored. But I also didn't really remember what I asked.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I kind of got bored after like 3 minutes. So, but they're very safe questions and they're very safe answers because I know that he knows that there's some flames behind him.
Probably. I don't think mine ever even got approved to be posted on the forum because they took the questions.
Ask me anything we feel like answering.
Yeah, pretty much. But. Yeah, I don't know. He's like, they made this decision. He responds again, says they made a decision while he was on leave, and he's sure they have reason for it. Unless I have strong reason to change it, then I will not. I don't know. He's just throwing his team under the bus. He has no spine at all. Like, I don't know. I can deal with Destiny being cut. I can understand games have a finite amount of time in which they exist. I understand that delays happen that are out of the realm of Alex and Matt and the OP team. That's not something. I understand that they tried to push different kits, and again, those not popping up isn't necessarily on them. It's on production. What I cannot fathom or get behind is how Alex has just run OP and responded to this community since then. I'm sure Keyforge loves him because he posts in there all the time, but I don't know. To me, FFG makes amazing games. I'd still be open to playing their games, but like after this, I've such a bad taste in my mouth with them and how we're leaving. I wouldn't blame anybody if they never play any FFG game competitively again.
I'm in that camp right there. I have no interest in playing. And a lot of people are saying, well, if they made another Star Wars IP that was similar to Destiny, or I'm out. I'm completely out after May, and I'm done. Like the last Destiny event that I go to is, it's it. I have no interest in playing. Like Champions isn't going to be a competitive thing. It's kind of like a kitchen table game, and nope. I don't know. Like all the other IPs just don't interest me. I mean, look, I was looking at X-Wing all weekend, and I was like, how do they even do that? Because that looks painful for 20 hours on your feet and bending over tables, and my scoliosis was screaming just looking over there.
Yeah, Brian, I'm not sure if I believe you there about you not doing it, man. Because I've heard you say something similar like this weekend about never doing something ever again, and then I get off the plane.
That was a joke. That wasn't actually true, Jack.
Oh, that wasn't. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
My God, no.
Not that much.
$5 I put $5 in a slot machine as a joke. Jack wrote after I lost a considerable amount of money in Vegas, which is no surprise to anyone. The only surprise that I do have for everyone is that I did not get drunk a single time this weekend. I'll have you know. But no, Jack texted everyone when I left the group chat, and Jack texted everyone, "Hey, Brian just lost another $100," and I guess everyone bought it.
I bought it. I 100% bought it. I can see
take that much convincing.
No, it's not. Want to see me lose $20? Want to see me lose it again?
It's a direct quote from Brian this weekend.
I accidentally bet $15 on one spin. because I don't know how machine. Anyway, so back to Destiny.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that story in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure that. So this podcast is going to be about 30 minutes of Destiny and an hour and a half bashing my decisions this weekend.
Exactly. No, but just basically, I don't know. I buy board games from them. They make good stuff. I like even just looking at my shelf back here. I have a lot of stuff that they've made and I enjoy. But I'll even still play X-Wing with some friends. But I just how he's just treated the situation. I understand. Like I said, all the things probably so much out of his reach, and now it's like one thing we can pin on OP, and they just punt it right out the door. And I just don't understand if there's anybody in the Destiny world that has a positive opinion of Alex, I would love to hear your perspective on it. Because walking away from Destiny, I can't think of one thing that I would be excited to jump back into a game in which he is the head of this.
I think Lanza was the last champion of the positive world.
That destroyed his world.
And he is a shattered remains of what he used to be.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. He used to yell at me all
Josh
the time.
was like, remember when you were positive about this game? And he was like,
yeah. Yeah, well, he used to argue with me on Facebook. I'd be be like, this is dumb. Why is this happening? Where's GQs? Lance would be like, calm down. And then eventually I think it was Momocon for him or something along those lines where they didn't have something, or Adepticon. And they didn't have stuff. And he's like, oh, Jack, I realize what you're saying now. And I was like, yep. And now it's more like we echo each other rather than arguing. But I don't know. Matt's been a blessing. Matt's been great. I'm sure there's been mistakes that Matt has made.
If there are, I haven't noticed.
There are.
Praise be to Matt Holland.
There are, but I respect him, and there's no point talking about them because, he's somebody, he made sure the CM boxes were at LVO. He's been consistently communicating with the Destiny. He's in several Discords. He's on the Facebook page all the time. I can forgive mistakes of people who care. I can't forgive blatant disrespect by people who have never showed an ounce of respect to our community.
Well, was it really that hard to get Covert Mission boxes to Las Vegas, considering they're sitting in a warehouse?
He went out of his way to do that. It probably wasn't.
What I'm saying, but
totally
it's
hard.
they're here, so it's not like he had to ship, helicopter them from China. They're here, so
that wouldn't work. But I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But nobody else did it. It was only him.
That's true.
Alex,
he's the one that probably cared about it.
Alex didn't make that his mission. Matt made that, and I know that from. Well, before he could have. This was like a month in the making.
He could have been on vacation.
He's been on vacation for a month.
He's on vacation. His team is trusted.
He's been on Destiny vacation for 2 years now.
Yep, that's it. There.
I don't know. Yeah, but I could be super negative about this. I could be. Of everything that I walk away from frustrated from this game, there's nothing more I'm frustrated than Alex Watkins and how he's done this. So, that's that for OP. Do you guys have any other thoughts on OP?
There's no P.
I think the horse is well dead and beaten, and we can move on.
Yep. All right, we'll move on to, I guess, just talking about LVO. All of us played on Friday, right? Yeah, day 1A, which had 45 people in it. I think day 1B was 65, 70, something around there. Marty and Hoover, who are coming, they were both day 2, or 1B, sorry. But Brian, Flock, do you want to lead us off? How'd your day go?
Didn't go too well. I was playing Iden Beckett. Last minute put in an Admiral. Kind of regret the decision. I personally don't like the way that the flow of that deck works with slow health pool, 2 characters. And there was actually a lot of aggro decks this weekend. So unless you can get Admiral with a bunch of cards in your hands to be able to do rerolls and get enough damage off of Iden or Beckett, it didn't really do much for me. I felt like it was kind of like I put it down, I spent all the money for it, and I got nothing out of it a few times when I was able to get a reset from playing it. And then the only games I really did win is when I rolled at max damage when I needed it to. So it was kind of a steady weekend, but still had a great time. Everyone was super nice. All the games were a blur because I started drinking the first 2 games. That probably didn't help. But yeah, it was still a great time. Everyone was awesome. And yeah, can't wait for Worlds now.
Yeah, echo that. Bry guy?
Well, this just started off my weekend the wrong way. Let's just put it that way. I played Red Palp, which is not something I'm overly familiar with, but I kind of got the concept down as I went. And I am not discrediting anyone's abilities whatsoever, but I got 4 basically unwinnable matchups throughout the day, and those were rough to take. I mean, I sat down round 1, I was against Ewoks, which, if you know, Palpatine doesn't have that much health, and once you get target acquired down, it's all over from there. So that one I was a little salty about that one, but there's nothing I could do. I moved on, and if anyone got Mysteries of the Force by me, I apologize quite a bit, because it's a nasty combo. I particularly remember the last round, one of the guys we met at Worlds, his name's Derek, at the Phoenix squad. He was playing Raylo. It was our last round of the day. We were both 3-3, so we were both kind of playing it quietly, so we realized, like, man, we're pretty out of it, and I don't think we're going to make it. So this game doesn't really mean too much. And he, at one point, was like, I don't even know what happened because I wasn't paying attention too much. But then you dropped Mysteries of the Force, and so I am more resetted with Mysteries of the Force and did 19 damage in one turn. And we went from a full health Rey with 3 shields and a 1 damaged Kylo with 3 shields to a dead Kylo and a 4 damaged Raylo in one turn. And I had quite a bit going on. I had Force Storm and Palp Sabers and Lions and Tigers and Bears on my. And I drew into Bacta, and I had 10 damage on me exactly. He dropped a Mind Extraction, which I was not expecting. And it was all over. But he made it into the next day, and that's, well and good. And I'm happy to see him do so well. He made it to the top 16, and I think he got picked off by Dryden Voss with Agent of Zion. So everyone was nice and very accommodating and friendly. So it was a nice day, and I just wish I could have had some better matchups and played a little better. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, we got Marty and Hoover coming in. Are you guys there? I hear keyboard clacking.
Clickety clackety.
Clickety clackety.
This is very unprofessional here.
Very. I blame you.
What do we discard the reroll?
Yeah, I know, man. What is this?
This is just like a discard the reroll podcast.
People
oh my
listen to
gosh.
us. That's why it's even worse.
Unbelievable.
Hey, you guys can hear me?
Super distant. Let me turn you up a little bit. All right, feel free to talk again, Hoover.
All right, let's try this again.
All right, I can hear you
Anything
now.
better?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do you read me? Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Roger.
we got you.
Okay, good.
All right, so we were just going through our days. So Brian and Flock talked about that. I'll go through mine, and then both of you play it on 1B, so then you guys can take it away from there. And then we'll just keep rolling.
We're actually talking about our day today. How's your day? How's everyone? We're all fine here, thank you. How are you?
Big breakfast. Started with a big breakfast today.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm still on West Coast time. I feel like I woke up, rolled out of bed, and went to work.
Yes, me too.
Just like I can't. But yeah, so back to roll on and roll in. Not roll on. Corwin was there though. Corwin made day 2. But I played Satine, Elite Satine, R2D2, 3PO with long term plan. And I went 5-2 during that day. Pretty much every game was a nail biter. I'm trying to think. There were some crazy ones where I had to instigate and get a reroll on Satine for the kill, because then I can long-term plan for 4 to 5, depending on the die that I do. There were a few of those. I played against Raylo twice. I got crushed by Ewoks. I took like 16 damage turn 1. There were things just like that happened, but ended up pulling it out for day 1. Made day 2, and my matchups changed because there was somebody that dropped. At first I was going to play Raylo, and then I played against Yoda Bale. And game 1 was like a blowout in my direction. I don't think he killed anybody or really did too much. And then game 2 was a lot closer. But again, instigate with Satine to reroll the Electro Sword and then long-term plan to do 5 unblockable under 6 shielded Yoda to kill him. And that was pretty much game. He tried to crawl back because it was just Satine with like 6 damage on her already. And so he played an Admiral and tried to get like the 3 indirect and stuff, but I like pacified my own die and had some ways out and things like that. So yeah, just didn't work out for him. And then top 16, I played against Maul, Watto, Retribution. Game 1, I won decently. Game 2 was kind of back and forth. Game 3 was a little tough. I got Entourage DM turn 1. She was only running 1 of, so I took the gamble, and she had it. And I paid for it. But it was still close. It came down to the end. If I hit Chewie's Blaster on any damage, my first rollout, I think I could pull that one out, but I didn't. And it was a little frustrating that she rolled out a 1, 2, 3 plus 4 when I had easy pickings in hand twice. But I mean, she played super well. Let's not take anything away from how she played or, anything in that regard. But definitely, I felt like I had answers, but some things just didn't go my way, and I'm sure I made several mistakes in the build up to that. So, but that was mine. So I made it to top 16, and then I lost there. Marty, do you want to talk about how you did on your day at LVO?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I will.
I was gonna say, is that an option?
Yeah, no, but I started out day 1, so I was on Red Palpatine, but not the Marty Red Palpatine. I was on Palpatine Wolf Lightsaber Mastery, which isn't completely uncommon or innovative. But it was a lot of fun, and I believe I made the Wolf choice because I wanted to dig in people's hands, because there was things that scared me with Palpatine, like Mind Extraction, but everybody only runs 1 anyway, so it doesn't really make Wolf very impactful. But definitely the highlight for me was my first game of the day, which was against Monk from Monk's Gaming Battlefield, and it was really close, back and forth, and it came down to the end when he finally got 10 damage on my Palp, and then decided to Mind Extract me. But it was a tough game, and I was mentally exhausted, and there was a couple rules violations that had to get corrected. So other than that, it was pretty close. And then after that, I took a couple wins from... I don't remember my wins. I only remember my losses, but...
Blocked them all out.
I know, yeah. The wins were whatever. It didn't matter. 1 win was given to me by Alan, so that was like a half win.
Don't give that to him.
I'm sorry. Well, he definitely could have removed my setup for Mysteries of the Force, and he didn't. So I got Mysteries of the Force off for 2 Force Storms and an Admiral Reset, so that felt pretty good. And he was on Jack's deck, so after I got that, or the deck that Jack was playing, I guess. Not Jack's deck, but...
He used my die.
Well, then I guess it was your deck.
So he only had 1 Entourage, so he only
Right.
brought 1. And then he forgot the die of it. And he's like, Jack, can I borrow your Entourage die? I was like, sure. But if you make day 2, you have to concede or just not play Entourage.
Right. But then I ran into some tough aggro matchups, and that was kind of the end of my day.
Yeah.
They were just throwing too much damage and couldn't really do much about it.
Yeah.
But Wolf worked the way I wanted him to. Against Monk, I would have been able to Wolf power action his second Fatal Blow, but ultimately didn't end up mattering because he had the Mind Extraction anyway. So
Cool.
Yeah.
While you were talking, though, we had our 3rd GDP North member, Nic, join. Nic, Scorpio, or AKA Scorpio. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. We were just talking to your team about how they did at LVO.
Oh, they did good. Don't mind me. I'm eating onion rings right now.
Hey, man, live your best life,
That's all I do.
All right, Hoover, how was your LVO tournament?
It was pretty good. For being my first major tournament, I thought I did pretty well. So I decided to go with OBR2. I've been kind of running that deck all Spark of Hope meta, even before the nerf, just because Kenobi is my favorite Star Wars character, and anytime I can play with my favorite characters, I'll try and make it work. So I stuck with the deck for Vegas because it felt really good into Palpatine. I really still haven't lost against either red or yellow Palp with the deck. Raylo was about a 30-70 matchup going in, so we added cards like Hold Off, Finishing Strike, and a second Yoda's Saber to try and make that matchup a little more 50-50, which I think definitely did help with at least one of my games. Going into day one, I finished 6-1 on the day. Lost to Raylo on stream round one, continuing my streak of 3 tournaments in a row, losing round 1 to Raylo on stream. So that feels bad.
Every time you get
hoping
put
that'll,
on stream.
Yeah. So we'll try to avoid the Destiny Council stream in Fargo on round 1. But after that loss to Raylo, bounced back against a Phasma Messenger deck, which I now learned the hard way that you can Fear and Dead Men a 3 indirect on a Mega Blaster Trooper if Phasma's still alive. So that was cool to learn. Then after that, went into a red Palpatine deck, which I was able to defeat pretty quickly. Didn't even lose a character.
It wasn't mine.
It was not Marty's. After that, it was a yellow Palpatine. That one, I kind of felt bad for my opponent. I rolled Palpatine off the table in round 2 before he even activated. I ended up rolling in Obi with 2 sabers on him and rolled 3 plus 2 plus 2. So that was game there. Then I played Michael Spalding from the Destiny Council. He was on Mace Teen BTL. Again, was just able to out aggro and out ramp before he could. And then last 2 matchups was an Iden Beckett, which they did drop a Mega Blaster Troopers, but I was able to kill Iden before they killed R2, and then I was just able to outpace Beckett in damage, and then finish the day against the Raylo, and thanks to an opening Yoda Saber, I was able to get Kylo to 9 damage at the end of round 1, and I was able to kill him round 2. If my Raylo matchup every time went like that, it wouldn't be a problem. But going into day 2, played a Raylo in top 32. I was still going to end up playing a Raylo. And my opponent had no questions asked in his Raylo deck. And that worked for him every round. In every game, pretty much. I was only able to resolve 1 Obi dive for 3 melee, once between both games. So I wasn't going to be able to win either game at that point. So unfortunately, ended early, but it was still a great experience.
Yeah, no doubt. Top 32 of your first major event is a good showing, especially with what people consider an off-meta deck.
Number 2 on the day.
Number 2 on the day.
That's true.
Spicy.
I did finish number 2 overall on the day, but 5th seed overall with SOS.
5th seed?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, you fared much better than the OBR2 that we saw playing day 1 against Agent of Zion. There was a game where we saw he did a super laser siege cannon for like 12 damage in Obi to kill him.
Oh.
Boss.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Voss is the boss.
Man.
So
Voss had a major. Who would have thought about it, huh, Brian?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I never thought that would be a thing.
No, not at all. I did real bad at LVO. I did so bad they didn't even put me in a place.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then they sent me to Minnesota to work.
By they, you mean me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty was so upset with your performance at LVO that he made you work the weekend of LVO.
Yep, exactly.
That's funny.
God.
Just kind of boss I am.
Big ball.
But yeah, LVO was tournament-wise was well run. I think the Gandork did a great job. They did tabletop TO, and we had to look on our phones for pairings, which was a little frustrating because it loaded for me, but I know many people were having issues with the
Never
match
worked for
pairings.
me.
Didn't
Yeah,
work for me either.
so it was like
I
each
figured
round.
out the pairings a round behind.
Yeah,
So like, I found out for round 6 what round 5's pairings were.
Yeah.
I was like a dad. I was like, all right, kids, you're at table 12 and you're at table 10.
Yep.
So I mean, but that was the printer wasn't working that they brought, so they just made do with that. I know there was a lot of frustration, or some people were critiquing how the drop was handled. It wasn't caught until basically El Rathian from Artificery had a illegal deck list. He was running Theed with Order 66, the plot, and really Order 66 was there for the Rebel Trader, and then Theed just recently got added because of Delve and 3PO and everything that we've had for a while. So 2 different reasons both cards were banned, but it's what happens when you get a full restricted list, not broken into groups. So it was missed. He was supposed to run Salt Flats, he said, but he forgot it and went with Theed. But yeah, so he did that. I mean, it was cool. It was a Callus Snoke Order 66, but ultimately it's an illegal deck. So he dropped, and they put the next person up, who was a 33rd seed, who actually ended up winning the whole tournament, which is a pretty crazy story. So
That's insane.
yeah, and his wife was the one that beat me in top 16. So he won, and his wife got at least top 8. I'm pretty sure. I think she lost in top 8. Yeah, because she lost to Mike from Dice Commandos.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a whole power couple right there. And LVO, man. Brian, why can't we be like that?
I suck.
Only Brian's the one that didn't laugh that time.
Amazing.
Good times.
But yeah, so that was Nick ran it really well. I was happy with the decision, like they said, bumping somebody up. I know it was over the night, but
Would you say that the Gandork did a good job, or?
Yeah, he did such a good job that I hope he doesn't get asked to be head judge at Worlds.
So what you're saying is they did such a good job that they rewarded him by letting him play this time.
Yeah, they're letting him play. Such a
base god Alex Watkins. Thank you.
I like to imagine that between his matches at Worlds, when Gandorf's walking around, people are just gonna pull him over, hey, you're Gandorf, right? Come here. I have a question. I have a rules question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if he's sitting next to me, instead of calling a judge, I'll be like, hey, Nick, what's the ruling on this?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we got into that earlier, so we don't have to dive into that again. But
I'm going to call a judge and then ask my judge to ask Gandork. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you check with Gandork, please?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nick's gonna get asked 70 questions during his matches.
Yeah, poor guy.
Leave me the hell alone. I just want to play Destiny.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was well run. Rounds went by quick. That decision again of the drop, I think, was a good one. Normally, you don't get to see deck lists till the time you sit down, anyways. So, the fact that we got them before then was added bonus. I know it changed for some people after they went to sleep, but it's not really. You show up the next day and you see that it's changed, and you quickly open your phone to look at the deck list of that person. So, it was I don't know. Don't think it was a big deal. I know some people were upset about it, but yeah. I mean, it stinks that the thing was mixed, and the person who played him last round to get knocked out of making day 2 probably feels bad, but it is what it is. So, yeah. So that's LVO. After that, after day 1B, because the GDP North guys were not there Friday night, so we held off on a box tournament until Saturday, and that was what we opted for. So how did you guys, after playing a box tournament, how did you feel? Flock, what were your thoughts on the CM box tournament after you took 10 hours to make a deck?
It took 10 hours, and then I won the tournament.
Yeah, because you went way over time.
Stalling.
Yeah, I was stalling. I was actually. What actually happened was Alan kept on walking by and handing me cards that I wanted, and I kept on putting them in my deck. So that's kind of what happened. I mean, I actually really like the CM expansion. I really like it a lot. A lot of cool cards. Piloting is fun. So when you open up your deck, you don't have to worry. When you do a box tournament of CM, you don't got to worry about desperate measures. So I highly suggest piloting if you can get into piloting, because it's just really cool interactions, some really cool shenanigans that you can do with piloting that I had a blast doing. I think Brian did too. Brian was like, piloting's fun, That was the biggest smile I saw Brian have is when he was playing Covert Missions and piloting. was the
It's
biggest
amazing how
smile I
fast
had.
it was stolen from me. That's my-
The pirates took your joy.
Yeah, I have to say the same exact thing. Piloting is a blast. I sorry, Flockton. I didn't mean
It's alright.
to.
Yeah, I even got the pilot tonight's weekly too, and that was a lot of fun.
They let
So-
you play with your CM cards.
They let me play with my CM cards. Yeah, I did a Luke and Poe. So I had Luke's X-wing in there, and I had Poe's Black One, BB-8, and everything. And then a really good card, Covert Missions card is really really good.
Yep.
And I brought in destroy the Death Star mission. But I am not actually destroying the Death Star. I'm just killing people. But you get the -1 with Luke, was able to bring the plot, and then I could play Covert Missions. I could play Nefarious Deed. And Nefarious Deed's a really good upgrade or event that I'm liking, which is remove an upgrade die, then spot a missions plot to roll an apprentice die into your pool. So I get to remove an upgrade die and then roll Luke's 1, 2, 2 for 1, +2 for free, or not free, but like I get to roll it for 1. So I'm having a lot of blast with piloting stuff like that, doing Luke's X-wing and so I don't know. Piloting's a lot of fun. It's gonna stink when it gets DM'd and you have a piloting deck and you're getting DM'd, but it's still a lot of fun. So when you get your Covert Missions box, pilot if you can.
Valentine.
Valentine, what did I say? Nefarious Deed?
Nefarious.
Nefarious Deed is the moving a damage with ambush.
No, isn't that the indirect one? No, that's
Nefarious
Partners
Deed
in
is
Crime.
the-
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Nefarious Deed is like move a damage.
Yep. With
Move a
that's the
token.
Sebulba always wins combo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. My bad.
And
Idiot.
now we can just Sebulba always wins for free with DM. So who needs it?
Because the Boba always wins.
Brian, what were your thoughts on the CM box? I know you started to get into it. Anything you want to expand upon?
I had fun with it. My box was pretty disappointing overall, I would say. I only really wanted a few select things, and I got none of what I wanted, really. So my team was Single Die Vader, Sabine, and Single Die Kazuda. So I had 3 pilots, and I piloted 3 different vehicles. And it was a blast. It's a lot of kind of action sheety and fast, and it takes a little while to set up, but once you get going, it's a lot of fun, and your board state looks like a total mess. But I had a lot of fun with it until Jack ruined my experience, and he'll tell you about that, I'm sure, in a little bit.
In the box tournament or in?
No, not in the box tournament.
Or the
just after.
pirate.
I was like, hey, I feel like LVO, we didn't play a lot of Destiny. Why don't we go back to the room and play some Destiny? You can make it, a different deck or whatever. We don't have to play with the box rules. We've got plenty of stuff that we can kind of, share or whatever, and make some decks with. And we did that, and it sucked. It sucked a lot.
Brian's like, I can't wait to play with Deathfield and Palp. Oh, Palp's dead turn 2.
Yeah,
Before he activates.
So I'm just gonna say it, right? So Jack made a deck, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's fun. Do you mind if I use a standard deck to test out, Flock and Allen let me Death Fields, and I had a Sith Lord that I wanted to try out.
Yeah, so Brian took his standard that he ran at LVO. My list was...
The deck that I used for the Grand Championship. And I was like, I'll play this CM only deck.
Yeah.
I think that's a little unfair, but I'll give it a try. And Jack was really nice about it. And Jack was like, "Sure, you can use that deck. I don't mind at all." And he proceeded to clap my cheeks with it. So.
Did he at least take you out to dinner after?
No. It was 13 damage and no dinner. Right to bed.
Brian, get to bed now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right to bed or
I hate
alcohol?
Destiny. I hate it so much.
Hoover, how was your box tournament?
It was good. I always love drafting, so it was awesome to at least get new cards. I ended up going with Ponkrell, who is probably the MVP of draft, and the only time he'll be good, since you're pretty much guaranteed a hero card every round that you can put back in the deck. Unfortunately, it didn't get any piloting characters, so just kind of went with a standard rainbow build. Did Kashyyyk Warrior, Ponkrell, and then the surprising MVP of the deck, which was the new generic Hero Smuggler. I don't remember what the actual name of it is.
The Master Smuggler.
There we go. Thank you. Because essentially, its ability is after you activate a Scoundrel, you can resolve a one of your dice as if it was showing a resource side. So it has a 3 gun for $1 that you could just roll in after it activates and resolve it right away for 2 resources,
That's insane.
which felt pretty good. But yeah, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. Ghost is a lot stronger than I thought it was as a card, and unfortunately no Rebel Hangers in my box. So hopefully I'll be able to get Rebel Hangers when I get my boxes. I got to make that card good somehow. That's my goal.
Wait, we're getting boxes? I didn't know we were getting Covert Missions. I thought that Las Vegas boxes were the only ones in the entire world.
Area 51 is housing all the boxes.
That's true, yeah.
We have to raid Area 51.
Yeah, we're taking all the people that were going to raid that, and we're going to raid the Alliance warehouse.
Yep.
They'd probably
Can't stop
welcome
us
it.
all.
They'd be like,
No, because there's security's on the boat.
oh, yeah.
Got him.
Amazing.
Got him.
Marty, how was your box tournament?
Don't play mono red in sealed. That's my first advice. But it was pretty fun. I opened up Krennic, which was a character that I wanted, and I opened up the build the Death Star plot. So naturally, that's what I tried to do, which I found out at the after party with Brian later on. It's much stronger with different colors in it rather than mono red.
Big true.
But at the table, I was surprised at how effective it was, even though it's draft, and I know there's not a lot of removal in draft decks, or sealed, excuse me. But I was able to get to 13 with only 4 dice, and that just being... So I ran Pyre, Krennic, and the Imperial Death, or the Imperial Death Trooper. And just with 4 dice, I was able to get 13 resources on there before I was finally taken out. But it feels pretty strong, and I'm excited to keep exploring it as Covert comes out or doesn't come out.
Whatever it does.
Right. I at least have enough to play a passable build a Death Star deck, so that makes me happy. Because piloting is what I was most excited for, too. So similar to Brian, I didn't get like Luke that I wanted, and I didn't get a lot of that side of it, but I enjoyed playing Krennic, and I think if either one of those 2 mission plots is going to become viable, I think build is the way to go.
Fair enough.
The Death Star's so good, dude. Or constructed, whatever it is.
It was good. That second, the match that I played yellow against you when we played in the hotel room, that was like, what, round 3? That was quick.
I would argue that construct the Death Star is much easier than destroy, like by a significant margin, because destroy the Death Star has like, not only do you have to do the 20 shields, but you have to reroll a pilot and a vehicle die, which means they have to be out in the pool, and that's about showing damage. So like it's not an easy task, let's just say.
Right, and we played those into each other. You were doing destroy, and I was doing construct, and we weren't doing any damage to each other.
Right, and it's so much harder when both parties have everything out on the field. I mean, clearly not for you, because you you crushed it, but...
Well, you did, because you did like 10 damage to your Death Star by the end of round 1.
Yeah, I was down to 4 damage by the end of the game, and it's close, but it's definitely an uphill battle, and I don't know if the team composition that I had was quite perfect, but you know, there's room for improvement there. Let's just say that.
Did you just talk smack on the Nar Shaddaa thief?
I can't stand you. First of all. Second of all,
Did you even use it, or was it just sitting there?
I'm just gonna tell you right now that Flockton and I love Flockton. I really do. I do. I'm gonna say.
I wish it was mutual.
Whatever. I was ready to go home. Well, yeah, I was so ready that I was looking up flights early. Anyway, no, Flockton and I got into a little bit of a lover's quarrel about when to activate and use the power action of the Nar Shaddaa Thief in a deck that doesn't really need to.
It wasn't much of a quarrel. I was right, so I mean.
You can keep telling yourself that.
And I was just a kid at the table while Mom and Dad were fighting.
I hate what Mom and Dad
Just trying to build my Death Star.
Moments before that, Flockton's standing over my game, jamming and tapping his finger into Kragan. Is like, I don't think he works that way. He doesn't work that way. And then he sits there, And then he walks off, and I yelled at him like, "Flock, it works that way." And he goes, he sits down on the couch, and I can feel him staring at me out of the corner of the room. I just feel it. I look over at him. I'm like, "Flock, it works that way." And you're like, no. You come back over. He reads the card. He's like, "Okay, after reading the 10th time, I get what you're saying." And you know what? Now that I get it, I
I'm
still
just
hate
learning
it.
to read, okay? So it's still,
Baby
it's
steps.
still new to me.
I'm just in first grade. I don't graduate to second grade yet.
Yeah, exactly. Flock's still in he's going out to the trailer on the side of the school for his English comp.
Oh, big true. I went there.
Me too. I went for speech. Why use many word when little word do trick?
Do trick.
But yeah, so Flock said he wasn't sure. He thought you had to activate the pirate to steal the resource, like activate another pirate. But yeah, so my box, I guess going all the way back to that, the draft was fun. I was definitely tilted because I pulled an Anakin's lightsaber and it rolled blank like 8 times in a row.
Hilarious.
Like I played against Marty, I was like, aha, I rolled blanks a few times. I'm playing against Flock the next game, more blanks. And I like look at Marty next to me. I'm like, yep, still rolling blanks. And then proceed to play against Brian and still rolled blanks. Flock was after one of our games.
Still
He's
won
like,
a lot
"What's that?"
against Brian. At least you still kicked Brian's ass, though. It seems.
That game was close. Draft was
that
close.
was actually really close. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I basically won off a Cruel Methods. I had played on one of his characters, and then piloting took control of the battlefield because it was whatever that one's called, where after you pilot, you can take control of the battlefield and reroll a die.
Right.
And so yeah, I took control of the Colossus. Is the name of it. I took control of it and dealt a damage to him, and he was like, "Oh man!" So
Well, 'cause, like,
that was that.
the thing about sealed is like you don't know what the cards do yet. I mean,
Right.
like
Nope. No
if
idea.
you play, oh, that was the one card that it was like the new hasty exit. You kept playing, and I was like, and that does what? That does what? And every action, it was like, and can I read this card? Can can this character do anything to annoy me? Or I mean, it's fun. Like I like not. I like learning new cards and all that. So that was neat.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember I asked Jack, I'm like, "Hey, so can I ready Kanan so that I can get a resource because you don't have anything else that you can really do?" He's like, "Yeah, you can do it." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like, "All right, I'll ready Kanan, gain a resource." I'm like, "Okay, I'm set." And he goes, "All right, I'll activate Kanan. I'll turn that down." I'm like, come on. Like it's just a sequence I wasn't thinking of, and then I'm like, "Yep, I won't do that ever again."
Yeah, it was like you had a pay side or something like that. I forget.
Yeah,
exactly.
but lucky Anakin's lightsaber just kept rolling blanks, so I was fine.
Yeah, Flock was like, "Yeah, I had this removal for like 2 turns, but you never rolled damage on Anakin's lightsaber." It's like, I'm glad I could do that for you. But yeah, seeing Build a Box is a blast. Piloting's a lot of fun. I'll say like specifically with the characters, I really had a lot of fun seeing more so the hero characters like on the board, like the Spectres, like Kanan. We saw a lot of Sabine was in like 3 of our decks. And that was cool.
The only time you'll see Hero on the board again.
See who?
Heroes.
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like him.
Kanan feels pretty strong into that build, the Death Star.
Yes, that solely won my game against Marty. It's like, all right, I'll
Yes, it
activate.
did.
I'll turn your resource side to not a resource side, and then I'll turn to 5 damage. Deal with it.
It was by the 3rd time where it's just like, oh, I guess you just get to do 4 damage no matter what I do. I got it. Okay, that's how Kanan works.
Yep. Imagine if I had action cheating. There'd be nothing you could do.
No.
I had to settle for
Imagine
4
if you
damage
had
because I
to.
couldn't action cheat.
Yep.
It's awful.
Only 4.
But yeah, it was really fun. Box opening's a blast. Hindsight though, like I would have maybe liked to extend it in that maybe because you want to guarantee that we all get 6 legendaries, like and doing like a snake draft or something while we're all collecting can definitely feel bad. So draft, wouldn't necessarily be the best option, but hindsight, I almost wish we like all bought a box and then did 3, 4. Yeah, 4 like sealed, which is like the 8 packs with a draft kit. Like if we coordinated that ahead of time, because then we would have gotten 12 games instead of 3 games with the Covert Mission stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that'd been cool.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was still been spiced up a little bit simply because each 8 packs would have been different. So each 3 games, it would have been 4 different, sets of it. That would have been, I don't know. just a little bit more mileage we could have gotten out of it. Whereas we, open our boxes, we build a deck, we watch Flock for another half hour, build a deck, and then we played.
What's
played
up?
3
My name
games.
is Tyler. I'm 25, and I never learned how to read.
It took a while to read all those cards.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was probably like my only complaint about it, but ultimately that kind of falls on us. Like, I'm sure we could have worked something out with the artifice, because I don't think they said sealed. I think they just said draft or build a box, but if we did it that way, I don't know if they would have cared. And even if they said, like, well, you're maxed out at... Well, how many drafts could you have done? 6?
6.
Yeah,
So,
6.
yeah, we would have been less than that, so they technically would have had enough prizing for us. We just would have been more monochromatic heavy as compared to shields, which is what we had got. I would have been fine. Like, I didn't really care either way for any of them. Both of them are cool. I was happy I got both of them, but I wouldn't have been like, no, we need to do build a box for the shield tokens. I mean, if you guys could have, and we could have done that, but that's where I was at least. But yeah, so go ahead.
Oh, I should have said someone's money and asked him to smuggle a box for me, or just had like someone pull me on Skype and be like, he's good for you got it.
Yeah, build those cards, do that. Well, Alan walked away with 3 boxes.
That's what I heard.
Alan just like rigged the system for
He
sure.
hustled. He hustled hard.
Big old vulture.
Yeah, he.
Proof if you hang around long enough, people will just let you do what you want.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
he saw one guy on Discord that was like, "I'll sell you my box for that cost," because he was like, "Yeah, I just want to go," or he didn't have a way to bring back the extra cards, I think, on his plane, whatever it might have been. So Alan got a second box that way, and then he hung around the table until they see if they had extras, and then they had extra boxes, and he bought one for there, and did another box
He
tournament.
did another box tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he walked away with 3. So if you're looking for some rares right now, Alan's your guy. And then he tries to get a 4th when he steals my box.
Yeah. That was crazy.
He accidentally mixed his cards or my cards into his stack, so we had to sort. Luckily, my dice were still separated, so we could tell. And Brian makes fun of me, but I organized my commons by number, so we were able to shuffle through the stack until it was numerical.
God.
And it was like,
Jack
these
was
ones are
trying
mine.
so hard not to get offended. I can see it in his eyes. He's just like, I did it by number.
It was perfect, and now it's ruined.
I swear to God, I did it by number. I just can't.
Oh
I just.
my God.
It worked.
Hey, that's how the cool people organize their sets, right, Jack?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I ain't got
Savages.
patience for that.
But I don't organize my set like that though.
How do you do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Must be saying something.
Point proven, I think.
I do it by color.
Me too.
Well, yeah. Well, color and then by number.
I do it by color and then faction. So I do like hero at the front, neutral in the middle, and then villain in the back.
No.
Oh,
It's,
no, I
it's
just do
villain
villain.
first, neutral in the middle, then hero in the back. Because F hero, villain's where it's at.
But you have to save the best for last.
No.
No.
No. Good talk.
Why are there so many people in this guy?
Nope. There's Scott. There he is. There he is. I didn't have to edit yet, and there he is.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Do
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's up?
Hey, Brian.
Hey,
How are you now?
not so bad. You? Sorry. Good and you?
Dude, you. The moment's over. You.
Damn it.
Guess what? I'm stamping.
Good and you?
I'm disappointed. I'm almost as disappointed in you as I am in Alex Watkins.
Oh.
Whoa, that's a big. Ooh.
How many times can we put that in this podcast?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
It's like number 4 at this point.
All right. Well,
At
that's
least.
that's my contribution. Have a nice night, guys. Bye.
But goodbye, Pretzel Man.
So I just literally wrote down 53 minutes like 4 times for me to edit.
Nice.
Just edit the whole thing out. Nobody will notice.
That's
Just
Scott.
edit him out completely.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Boom like a ninja. Did
Oh,
anyone
Scott.
else see that?
Yeah, he just posted that in Discord.
Glorious.
That's our secret channel, Nick. You're not supposed to talk about it.
I didn't.
It's like
name
Fight
it.
Club.
Well, number 1 always talks about Fight Club.
First rule of Heist Team: don't talk about Heist Team.
Don't talk about it.
All right. I mean, any other thoughts on CM? Like, it's just, I mean, we know all the cards. Nothing's like jumping out that we can specifically talk about. But maybe, I don't know, does anybody have any specific cards that they played with where they're like, hey, this was a lot better than I thought?
I love Blue Hero in this. Since I didn't get to do LVO or box draft stuff, the only thing I have to contribute to this is Artificer League, but we're doing CM for the top 8, and I just took my normal Raylo and threw in like 6 cards, and it was 2 Nullifies, 2 On Guards, Anakin Saber, and then a Bloodletting. And it's terrifying, and I love it. My God, it feels so good.
Now, Bloodletting is what? Deal damage to a character and turn a die?
Yeah, Bloodletting is like Power Through Pain, but it's a 1-cost support, and you don't have to spot 2 characters. So it's 1-cost villain support, exhaust this, and deal damage to a blue character, turn one of their character upgrade dice to a side.
Nice.
Is it just blue?
Yes.
Oh, I was definitely playing it wrong then.
No, it's one of...
Same.
Yeah, exhaust this support, deal 1 damage to a character you control to turn one of its character upgrade dice to any side.
Oh,
right,
really?
there's no color restriction, yeah.
Character.
Nope.
No.
Oh, dang, spicy.
Because I played that in Build the Death Star with the Snoke's Guard.
Yep.
Yeah, and it felt really good.
I guess Raylo, it doesn't matter. If you think it's spot blue, that's still fine, because...
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I was spotted blue all day in Raylo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just character, that's fine. But Nullify is great with Raylo. On Guard is actually like the MVP. I didn't expect it to feel as good as it does. Because it's just like, it's like Polarity for the special, but for free, and it feels amazing.
Yeah, it's with the ambush, 0 cost.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, if you compare On Guard to Polarity, it's like, do you want to pay 1 to deal damage? Like the extra ping damage?
Yeah, and round 1, the On Guard feels way better than Polarity because you can like drop an upgrade and still do that. And since you have Nullify, you have more 0 cost removal too.
Yep.
Yep.
Raylo looks to be good still.
Yeah, and Raylo real good in the Bane. Also, thank you, Hoover, for telling me about the No Questions Asked because that's insane in Raylo. My God.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
I'm sorry. It was so good though. I removed round 2. I removed 2 Bane dice, both showing 3 melee, and a 4 storm showing a special, and then drew into Polarity while I had a special showing.
Oh.
It was
Yeah,
glorious.
I keep saying that, and it makes Hoover feel worse. But yeah, your opponent wasn't even drawing the cards with no questions asked. That's strong.
That's how bad I was doing.
No, that's not what I meant.
You suck so much that your opponent didn't do all of the stuff.
He's just letting you slide by.
The only thing worse than that is when you're getting your ass kicked and your opponent's like, oh, dang, I should have done this. It would have been better. And it's like, you're already killing me. I don't know what you're trying to prove here.
Yeah. Well, all right, so you just beat, Nick, you just beat Darth Bane in the top 8 of Artificer, right? Do you know what you're playing in top 4 yet?
I don't. They have all the deck lists, but they don't have like a, at least not that I could find because I'm stupid and don't know how to technology. I couldn't see like a, what's it called when you have like a bracket. I couldn't see a bracket anywhere.
Oh, I'm excited to see what comes out of that.
Yeah, there's some piloting in there. Piloting and then some, I think there's a Build the Death Star plot deck. And then a Kanan deck and another piloting, Spectre deck. Looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be weird because it's not like he got in with CM, but it'll still be interesting to see what like wins with a CM deck. Because we're starving for that now. I really just don't care about Prime results. There was one this weekend, but I don't know what won.
Yeah.
It was like Vader and Faust.
Dang, nice.
Really?
Yeah,
I think,
it was Fighting Pits, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Wisconsin one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
Look at
play that. That's Sam Horner, right? We play that guy when we go to the Twin Cities.
Yeah, shout out to Sam.
Oh,
He's been running Vader for a long time, so it's glad to see him take it down. And to Michael Berg for finishing second place, so that was awesome.
Yep, that kid's good.
Yeah, I got one this weekend. Going to Virginia.
You're going to another one?
Oh yeah, you're going to tag, right?
I need to get top cut and lose. Okay. I need that plane voucher. The plane
From
plane
Art of
voucher for
History.
Worlds.
Okay.
Yeah, I need it. Also, or I can win because I think whatchamacallit, the tag is doing like the winner also gets plane voucher as well of the prime.
Just see how much each is. Like, is tags only 200? Is Art of History?
Yeah,
300?
I'll find out which one's more, and then I'll plan how I go from there.
If this, I want to go to Todd's, but this being off the weekend of LVO makes it just not possible for me.
Yeah, excuses.
I'd be tempted for the other Virginia one if Covert Missions is out, but if it is not, then I don't feel like driving 6 hours for this meta.
But you love being in the car with me for 6+ hours, though.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to do a cutoff somewhere. I need to sleep somewhere. I mean, I don't even hate this meta. It's just bored.
I do.
Yep.
Brian hates everything.
I hate it.
I hate every meta.
I want it gone.
It's
I
like,
just want DQA and Ancients back in shows.
Yeah, but we nerfed droids, so they're not good anymore.
yeah, they're garbage,
wait.
dude.
Uh-huh. Sure. We sure did. Let's give a clap on the back. Because we sure did nerf droids. They're not around anymore.
The next droid nerf's on the boat.
Right? Right.
Come on, just R2-3PO restricted list, get it over with.
They know they want to do it.
They really should.
Not every droid deck is good, because I played R2 and C-3PO tonight at my local and won one game, so.
What was your other character?
Rex.
You wreck.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, the biggest thing is that they, like, never hit Chopper, and he's been, like,
He's probably the best droid.
Monster.
well, since the original nerf, like, to me, he's been, like, the best of them in what he gives, and then it's like, you hit 3PO and R2, it's like, okay, then that Shadowcaster deck with Chopper pops up. Like,
Yeah.
that was a really good deck. Did that lose in top 8, top 4? I think it lost in top 4.
Yeah, it made it to top 4, didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Which is a good deck, and one that if I didn't get talked to about it as I was getting on my flight, I might have ran it, but I was way too late. So, I mean, he's just, the value from him is just, like, absurd. Being able to, like, discard a reroll with a mod, play it back, do salvage arm, like, 3 times in a round with overwrites and stuff is pretty busted.
The lack of DM at LVO was surprising. There was not a lot of it, at least that I saw.
I had it.
Did you run 1 or 2?
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dos
Well, we
Anjos.
never played, so.
That's scary right now. Nothing can drop a 5th round 1 right now.
Yeah,
So you don't really need.
well, like, some of the best decks of DM was, like, Afra and, like, Forlom, and both of them are irrelevant.
Yeah, that's true.
Django can drop a fist turn 1.
That's true, actually.
Why didn't you run Django?
I know.
I should have ran Django. Maybe I'll run Django this week. I'm running Django this weekend in Virginia.
All right,
Gotta figure
everybody.
out a pairing.
If you're going this
Okay.
weekend, tech against Django.
Tech against Django.
Just run 2 Sentinels and a bunch of ambush cards.
Wait, can I bring my Covert Missions cards to Virginia?
I'm going to take a guess and say no.
You can bring them.
Bring them, you just can't use them.
Why can't I use them? But I have them. That's a bummer.
Rip.
Marty, why do we fight so much? We always say the same things at the same time.
I don't know. It's a complicated relationship. We don't need to get into it right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like, all of the thoughts that I have about things. Is there any, like, other topics anybody wants to talk about coming off of LVO?
I hate Kragan.
Craig and my
Release
boy.
the Kragan. Release the Kragan.
Well, my favorite was, like, both you and Tom. In both games, like, round 1, I did it. And then both of you were like, oh, that's annoying. I got to make sure that doesn't happen again. And then round 2 started and it's did the same thing. It goes into, like, these palp decks pretty well, in which, like, if you can't play both of your, or spend both your resources before you activate Watto or Marty, then you're in like a tough spot because then you activate, and then I activate Kragan and steal a resource from you. So that's pretty much what happens.
I hate Kragan.
Well, that pirate ship play that removes the damage too that's pretty strong.
Yeah,
I hate the pirate deck.
Brian was so slow to roll out. I had to wait to do it. I couldn't do the combo. I had to wait for him to focus Sith Lord to the 3 melee.
I sure tried to Foken it.
Fokin. Brian, if you talk like that, maybe you beat Kragan.
Yeah.
Hinga Flinga Durgan.
There you go.
If I talked like that, you wouldn't have to bookmark 54 minutes 5 times.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
So anyway, Kragan sucks.
I'm excited, though, that we do have these cards to play with, and that Tuesdays, at least at our locals, since it's at my house, my rules, and I said it's legal. So
Our locals in Jack's basement with me and Jack.
there's like 6 of us that go.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
We've gotten it up
For
from
the
just me
content.
and you. But 3 of us have CM, actually, so 50% of the field has CM. Me, you, and Tom.
That's the only ones that need it. Mike already wins without that, so. And Matt doesn't need it.
And Matt just doesn't need it.
Matt doesn't need it. He's not going to get it.
But, yeah, I mean, anything else you guys wanted to talk about? I mean, I think news and topics are just drying up as nothing that continually happens in Destiny.
Yeah, game's dead.
Can you get a game's dead?
It's not dead yet, dude. We need some Flockinism in here.
Last time we got the Flockimus and the game got canceled.
On your birthday.
On my birthday.
Yeah.
That's the worst. That's always the most dramatic. It's like, and it's on my birthday.
Yeah. Hit Flockton's birthday, and then the announcement of Golden Dice North, and then the game's dead. Perfect.
Solid.
Was that scheduled the same day, or was it like the day? It was like the day after, wasn't it?
It was right after.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure the post was like, well, we had this lined up anyways. We're going through with it. We ain't stopping.
Listening to the podcast that week was the best because every 5 minutes is just like, oh yeah, it's good timing, right? Like, yeah, great timing. Everything's fine.
It's calculated.
Oh, God.
It's just so you could stay with us at Worlds. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, we're staying with you.
You're staying,
so.
yeah. We stayed with you at LVO. You're staying with us at Worlds.
That's right. Yeah. That's how we do it.
You guys are going to have a great time at Worlds.
Good. Only if you're there.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you will, Brian.
Well,
pretty much for the past, oh yeah, we're going to be all at an Airbnb. It's going to be great. At a house.
Brian, I don't know what to get belligerently drunk with.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
However, my wallet cries at the thought of me spending time in Minnesota, where I've spent lots of money getting there. Also, how many bathrooms does this place have? Because there's 14 dudes in it.
Not 14.
Yeah, 14 dudes in one bathroom in the whole house. So good luck, boys.
Not enough bathrooms.
Yeah, I don't think that's that.
We have 14 people?
No.
No,
Neither.
12.
Nothing. We don't have 12.
Yeah, you do.
We have
counted
10.
it. It was 12.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
No.
Oh my God, we counted this out.
You're wrong,
7
Brian.
times. Hey,
That's not how it works.
Did Tom Paul Krennic?
We pulled 3 of them.
Flockton. So Jack asked us, I don't know if Jack was drinking or what, or just playing stupid. But Jack asked us what legendaries we pull after the box draft, and was like, "All right, so Tom pulled Krennic, and Tom did not pull Krennic. Flockton pulled Krennic, and I walked over and I was like, dude, if you ask us to repeat what legendaries you got one more time, I'm gonna lose it because it's been 6 times. Tom does not have Krennic.
And then I was like, Brian, win a game of Destiny.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll play with my standard deck. Oh wait, Kragan.
That was the best part of that whole interaction.
That
sitting
pissed
next
me
to
off
you two.
beyond.
When Brian was like, "Is it okay, Jack? I'm sorry. I'm gonna play the standard deck into your Kragan deck."
I was
I was very polite about it too. I was like,
"Yeah, you were polite."
I hope this isn't a dick move. I just want to play some Destiny, and I know that the deck that I made is not going to beat the deck that he's going to make. unless it's a standard deck, and then I played the standard deck. And if you haven't seen the picture on our Discord, you can see me scratching my head in the reflection of the glass table, and I couldn't have seen more red.
Yeah. I love that you could just see you scratching the head and the reflection off the table.
It is definitely. It's priceless.
Because
Such a beautiful
I
picture.
just don't. I don't understand why does this keep happening to me.
Ewoks.discardthereroll.com.
Why is it always me?
Well,
I
that
don't
was
understand.
one of my favorite parts of the whole weekend is somebody came up to us and was talking about the Ewok game. And he's like, yeah, it's honestly like one of my favorite videos of all time. Like sometimes I'm sad and I just watch that video and I get happy. And I've probably watched it like 15 times right now. It's like, I love that.
I just
Why
wish I
is
wasn't such a joke.
Why is there 13 damage showing on the board? That's so much damage.
And around one, Brian just looks down and is just like, where did this
That
come
was round
from?
1?
Yeah, I think it was round
Yep.
one.
It
I'm
was.
looking at the table, head scratch 1. But
It sure was a 7-minute game, so that's fun. Had a great time. Loved LVO. It's my favorite
Fun
game
game.
of all time.
Got flocked, baby.
Uh-huh.
oh god.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
Hashtag free Nick Nelson.
What?
Hashtag free the Gandork.
Free the Gandor.
2020.
Hashtag release the Kragan.
Release them.
Gross. Kragan. Kragan's my new Ewoks.
Oh,
There's
no.
one every set.
No, Jawas are going to be the new Ewoks.
What they
Oh my god. Okay, thank you. So I played, this was a couple
Uh-oh.
days ago on GPS. I played against a 6-wide new Jawa mill deck. And it was not consensual at all. I was like, this is going to be fun. Like, I'll play Anakin Ahsoka. Like, I'll have some fun. I killed one Ewok. Or not Ewok, one Jawa. And I got milled into oblivion. It was the
Yeah.
worst experience I've ever had in my life.
Oh boy, can't wait to play another.
Jawas are not fun to play against.
No,
Uh,
not at all.
All right,
Let's
Brian,
play a
next
dice
stream.
and card game with no dice.
love it.
And
Love
no
it.
cards because they kept taking them from me.
Yeah, and no
Yeah,
cards.
and no cards.
Oh. Big sad.
How can flock roll max damage if there's no dice?
Yeah, exactly.
You always roll max damage.
I did. That happened to me in LVO I needed like 12 damage, and I military camp, roll out Beckett, 3 for 1, 3 for 1, roll out Iden, get the 2, and then I had 2 concert squad. I got a +2 and a +1.
Oh my gosh.
And then the guy, it was a mirror match because he had Beckett Iden as well. He looked down, he goes, yeah, that happened. I'll Beckett power action.
Then he
Well,
does
yeah.
the same thing, and he gets a focus, a blank, a discard, resource, disrupt. And Flock's like, man, my deck's so much better than yours. Amazing. But yeah, I mean, LVO was fun. It was a blast. Thanks to Nick. Thanks to Yeti for putting it together, running the thing. Thanks to Matt for making sure CM was there.
Yep.
I'm excited for Worlds. I'm still excited to play this game, to ride it out, and then, who knows what's happened with Wild Horizons, but, we could have another 6-7 months of Destiny that's fun and relevant, so.
You could.
I think we plan on going pretty much till the end of the year at least, right, Marty?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna run my local as long as people show up to play. So
Yeah, I mean, we'll be
That's
doing
gonna be
videos
three
till
of
people
us.
stop.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, at least the 3 of us will show up.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
what it was
Yeah.
back in the old days,
Mm-hmm.
and I still lost. So what do you do?
You could.
I'm just being a good host. That's Jack. You got to learn how to TO better. When people come over, you got to lose a couple of games, keep them coming back.
Seriously, dude.
Brian, you're welcome in our local anytime.
Goddamn Destiny once in a while, dude. Boost my ego because it's rock bottom right now. 13 damage with Craig in turn 1. How am I supposed to combat that?
That wasn't turn 1. That's turn 2. I didn't play a pirate. I couldn't play all of that turn 1.
Only dreams now.
Other people beat me. Just Brian never.
Other people are better than you. Why can't you be?
Yeah, everyone sucks. It's great. You just suck a little more.
Yeah, you just suck more than I do.
Yeah, people can beat me. You just.
Oh.
I appreciate it. I love this. I love democracy. I love the republic.
This is how Destiny dies with thunderous applause.
With Alec Watkins.
With Alec Watkins' face on the poster. But yeah, Palpatine's sitting there like, "Hey, look, it wasn't my decision. It was the Senate, right? I can't control them. You know, I trust them. I said to be individuals. I'm on vacation right now. I'm on Mustafar. Chill."
This is how Destiny dies. Not with Matt Howland, but Alex Watkins.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, it's his team. He can't. Like, come on.
Free the Gandork.
Free.
Free him.
All right. We'll wrap up here. Brian gave me another thing to edit.
Oh, you're welcome. I think I gave you 2 things.
Maybe I missed it, and I'm not gonna listen back because ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, this is a short one. I like this. This is nice.
Well, it helps when there's like
a regular hour.
nothing to talk. Well, yeah, we haven't been in an hour in a while, but I feel like there's just nothing else to talk about. I don't know.
Game's dead.
I could be wrong. Anybody got something already? Brian?
What?
I hate Kragan. I could talk about it for another hour if you really want me to.
Did you buy stock in a McDonald's?
Yo, oh my god. So I went to the gym for the first time in God knows how long tonight. And we had McDonald's about 9 times over the weekend because you walk out from the room, McDonald's, bam, right there. I mean, there's also like other options like Subway, but Subway's a longer walk, so forget that.
It cost more than $3.
My stubby, thick legs needed to walk right to McDonald's and back up to the room for relaxation and sleep.
Well, if you went by Subway, you had to walk by the slot machines. Brian just couldn't risk that again.
Triggered! So anyway, yeah, I gained like 14 pounds this weekend. I don't know, it's crazy. I think between all the burgers and the fries and the gin that I had, I needed to be at the gym tonight, and there I was. So
You could have gone to Roberto's and got a burrito with potatoes and then also fries on the side. So
You know what I realized? We never went to In-N-Out Burger or Jack in the Box.
nope.
We didn't go to
We went to
anywhere outside of
McDonald's.
our place.
We went to McDonald's. You know, there was a whole lot of cool restaurants we could have gone to and visited. That, like,
Traveled 2,500 miles from McDonald's.
isn't that where the Heart Attack Grill is, whatever, in Vegas?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of cool restaurants we could have gone and tried. Nah, we had
I would've
McDonald's
actually tried
2 times a day.
yeah, and TGI Fridays.
Oh, and TGI Fridays.
I
and
warned
no
you.
I
one-
think
Once
TGI
no one liked their
Fridays
meal.
had us.
I
Oh
warned
my
against
God.
it.
Friday's had.
This
We
isn't
did-
funny anymore.
No.
You got every order wrong. Honestly, there must be an award for that somewhere.
Every order was just bad and wrong.
Oh,
And then I ordered a cheesecake and was like, man, this isn't so good. Alan, do you want to finish it? And I blinked and it was gone. Like, yeah, it wasn't that good.
But it
But he was like licking the bowl.
He's like, yeah,
It was that
kinda
good.
sucks, but it's gone now. So.
like one bite.
Oh.
Eats the plate after.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
like
some
that-
terrible
it's like
cake.
in episode 1 where Jar Jar just snaps up the fruit with his tongue.
You got it.
It's gone. No one's ever really gone.
All right.
Jar Jar's a great character.
Yep. Yep.
Best
Thanks,
character ever.
George.
All right, let's keep it where we were. And
Ooh, Hoover played Jar Jar tonight at our
I
local.
did. I'm on my Gungan's comeback tour.
Come back?
Ooh.
How'd that go?
Yeah. Yes, you heard him correctly, Jack. Come back.
He lo-
Welcome to the Minnesota meta.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't Gun? Oh, Gun.
stuck in a loop. Gun.
Didn't Gungans
That's
win
like the
win a
N-word.
storm championship or something?
They
Yep.
did.
Like a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
they
been
were-
relevant since.
Oh, God bless anybody who's still listening. Oh my gosh. The gun guns.
Sounds like a The Antwoord song in the background, like gun, gun, gun.
Sorry, my mouth talks quicker than my brain can process what I want to say.
I feel that.
Why say more words when less word do trick?
Yeah. Why say more word when
Gun!
All right. Anybody who's made it this far, appreciate it. As we said, Golden Dice will still be putting out content. Might transition to more articles and gameplay than podcasts, but we'll kind of just see how that feels
Maybe
out.
live stream.
Live streams. Yes. There you go.
Yes.
yes, please.
So if you want the premium content, that is our Twitch feed when Brian and I play. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube as well, Facebook and Twitter, and those 4 places is where we post all of our content for podcasts. And if you want to get on your phone, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, and
Still
things.
on a Google Play.
Yeah, they won't accept me because Shout Engine is garbage. And at this point, there's no reason to switch RSS feeds and pay for one when game's dead. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We got the GDP North guys coming in as well. So they've got their first audition on the podcast, and we like to keep that going. And yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna ride it out to the end. We'll do what we feel like doing, and the content that you guys keep consuming, we'll still do it. Brian, do you want to give us the sign out this week?
Free the Gandork.
It's like SOLOSOLOSOLO. I'm living my life, ain't got stress no more. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride, I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo, I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, solo. Feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving Cloud City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, solo.